What it be, y'all? It's President 47 back here again for another video. And you read the title, clicked on this video, so you know what this is about. 50 years ago today, this shit went down at 1520 Citric Avenue in the Bronx, the birth of hip hop. A back to school party held by DJ Kool Herc around 9 p.m. And little did you know just that how much of an impact that one night would make on the entire world. 50 years later, this hip hop culture and this hip hop music has become quite possibly the biggest genre in music history. I would say that. And to celebrate the 50th anniversary, I'm gonna be telling y'all my story on how I got into hip hop, my journey of discovering all the different kinds of artists in here, how I started becoming an artist in this genre and culture myself, and what it means to me personally as a person. So let's just start off right now. My first introduction, like the first time I heard like hip hop for like traditionally, like traditional stuff that everyone listens to, was around like 2009ish, I would say. Started hearing songs like Public Enemy, Black Steel and the Hour of Chaos, Tribe Called Quest, I Left My Wall on El Segundo, The Far Side Passing Me By, and Ice Cube with Dr. Dre, Natural Born Killers. Started hearing that too. Insane of the Brain, Gin and Juice, etc. Heard those on like alternative radio. So those are like my first little sample taste of what hip hop was like. Then my first time I actually heard hip hop again and actually started getting interested in it was in 2013. Yeah, I'm that young, but I'm like 21 years old. It was summer 2013, around this time of year in August. Me and my pops, we got Dish Network that year, and it came with SiriusXM. And with the SiriusXM feature, there was a channel called Backspin, which is a classic hip hop station, which now is known as Rock the Bells. And one night, I heard four songs in a row that I loved, and in this is the order they came in: Del the Funky Homo Sapien, Mr. Dabalina, Tribe Called Quest, Beneath the Apple Bomb, Cypress Hill, Hand on the Pump, and y'all can laugh at this one because I was like 11 at the time, but Rockmaster Scott and the Dynamic Three with Questline. That was the fourth one, and and I just put together today that was like an early feature from Slick Rick on that song. But I love those songs so much. Downloaded them on my tablet fast, and this is back when file sharing sites were still alive, like My Free MP3, G Tunes, etc. I bumped those songs like no one's business in sixth grade. That's where I was at the time. And then towards 2014, again, not like a fully converted hip hop head yet, just my first taste right now. I started getting into like West Coast games rap for the first time, getting into like NWA, Easy, Snoop, Dre, Cube, etc. But 2015 is where my story really begins. So let me get to it. I remember this night vividly. Well, one night around November 2015, I just got from a nap. I walked into the living room. My pops was watching the Tribe Called Quest documentary, the Beats, Rhymes, and Life. I just sat down and just started watching it with him, and just seeing Q-Tip, Ali Shaykh Muhammad, Five Talk talking about making People's Instinctive Travels and the Low End Theory albums. It just looked really dope to me. Like all the vibrant colors with like the Low End Theory album cover and all of that, and with the People's Instinctive covers, it just really caught my attention. Then they started showing the Jazzy Got and Bugging Out videos, and I just started loving seeing Five Dog with the fucking big bug eyes on him. And fast forward a month later after that, like around Christmas time, I'm picking up Christmas gifts, and this is where my music collection started. I picked up three albums. Picked up NWA Straight Outta Compton, because again, 2015, this is when the NWA was like fucking everywhere, and all those albums got reissued. I got Straight Outta Compton, Public Enemy Takes Nation Millions to Hold Us Back, and I don't give a fuck what people think. This band means everything to me. I also picked up Insane Clown Posse's The Riddle Box 20th anniversary one because my pops, he got me into all the Juggalo shit, which we'll get to in a shortly. And that was my Christmas gift for him, man. I fucking loved that album. So those were the three albums that started my collection. And then in return, what he picked up for me was The Terror Wheel, also by ICP, and Dub C's The Shadiest One album. So that's like those 5 records were like where my hip hop collection journey started. So that was 2015. Now we go up to 2016. Now this is where I become like converted. Start doing like my ICP research because I got the Roblox box set, doing research on the Dark Carnival and like the Joker's cards. At the same time, going through Tribe Called Quest discography, listening to People's Distinctive Travels because I also picked up the 20th anniversary CD for that record. Checking out the Low End Theory, Midnight Marauders, Beach Runs in Life, and just being blown away by all of it. Listening to those albums, playing like Skate 3 on the PS3 back in those days. Learning about the native tongues, also getting into De La Soul, learning about Jungle Brothers and fucking Leaders of the New School, and all of that, man, all that stuff. So, yeah, going back and listening to all that, like the Joker's Cards, like I said, revisiting Twisted, Psychopathic Records albums, even getting into classic 90s Esham Minaj, which they pioneered those 2 groups right there. Also getting into Atmosphere too, because my father, he introduced me to them years ago with One of a Kind on God Is Ugly. If you know me, you know what Overcast means to me. But besides that, there was one afternoon, early 2016, around March, I want to say, March 2016. This moment changed my life forever. I was in study hall. I was listening to like Tribe Called Quest radio on the Google Play Music site back when that was around. And the song came on where it started off with 2 guys robbing a kid for like whatever, and then he was left shot dead, and everybody in the fucking area starts freaking out and screaming and shit. And the soul sample comes in right after that, and then the fucking first thing I hear in the song is check the script. Me and the girls get a rip. Blunts in the dip, 40 dogs in my lip. Had a box. Boom boom, the bass will blast. We was laughing at all the girls that passed. The song was Tears by Wu-Tang Clan. And I was like, oh shit, this is what Wu-Tang sounds like. Because I always heard that name before I got into hip-hop. But hearing them for the first time and actually knowing what they sounded like, that was a moment. And the next day, I tapped in to Enter the 36 Chambers album, and it blew me away. And then that summer of 2016, I started going down the rabbit hole of all the solo albums in this order. From older ODB's Return to the 36 Chambers, Method Man's The Cal, Raekwon Only Built for Cuban Links, Jizzle's Liquid Swords, Ghostface Killer Iron Man a little later. And around that time, I was also starting to high school. And that's when I also got into Wu-Tang Forever, because back to Google Play Music, I was listening to like Wu Radio one time, and Older Gods came on, and that was like my incentive to go listen to that album, and fucking Christ, that blew me away too. And in the first half of my freshman year, that was where I just lost my hip hop virginity. Getting into Tribe, Wu, also diving into like Boot Camp Click, Hieroglyphics, Gangstar, Outkast, Biggie and Pac, etc. Like I can't even like it's hard to keep track because I got introduced to so many different artists in that year. And around this time, I was like, I started loving all this music so much. I'm like hearing all these different kind of sounds. And I'm like, fuck, I want to do this shit. And for my birthday that year, I got my first music software called Mixcraft 7, and let me get it out real quick because I still have the fucking oh shit. Well, shit fell, but I still got the fucking box that I got it with. See it? Mixcraft 7 Home Studio. When did this fucking come out? 2015. So yeah, I got that. Started working on my own shit right there from then on out, and came up with the stage name Resident 47. And everyone in school used to ask me like what that name means and how I came up with the name. That will always remain a mystery. Those people know where it comes from. But anyways, started out doing production, kind of making like atmospheric tribe kind of sounding beats. Even like a few West Coast tracks, because I also had another program called Music Maker Jam. And they had like a bunch of like West Coast hip hop, G Funk kind of sound packs I would fuck with. I started becoming super invested in just making music from there on out. And 7 years later, I'm still here doing my thing. A lot of people who get into rap and start when I'm making music, they fucking give up like it's a phase to them, or they just become unmotivated. I'm doing this for life, yo. I'm doing this shit for life. Because I'm gonna be listening to this music for life. So where are we at? 10 minutes now. So that's 2016. Let's get into 2017, 2018 now. 2017 was another big year because that's when I started getting into all the new underground hip hop shit that I follow today. Endless thank yous and salutes to my homie Mike Sears from the legendary Speaking Cloud fucking podcast, talking about Griselda Records endlessly on his channel in 2017. I was watching his videos on like Wesley Gun Fly God, Reject Calling Machine Reject 2. The video on them getting signed to Shady Records, which was a big mistake looking back now. And I just hearing the way you're talking about it, like describing what it sounds like and like what they're like the lyrics they were fucking rapping. Man, I got so intrigued by it. I listened to the Reject 2 EP that summer and went down the rabbit hole of Griselda's Scarfeed from like Fly God, Butcher on Steroids. I got to see that drop on the day it came out. Same thing with like Hitler Red Hermes 5. And then just being blown away and falling in love with all that music. And then he started talking about like a bunch of other artists like Recognize Ali, Crime Apple, Rock Marciano, Daniel's Son, Uncle John. Later on, like J Royale, Rome Streets, Riggs and Mooch with the Cloth. It's fucking endless, dude. Like, he's the fucking plug when it comes to underground rap shit. So I spent 2017 and 2018 discovering artists in the game right now that I can follow. And that also continued into 2019 as well. And then around that time, 2018, 2019, so I really started making records for the first time, like writing songs, recording. I met Disposal like in 2017. So if you actually listen to my shit, I'm not forcing y'all on it, but if you listen to my shit, you know who Disposal is. But anyway, started making records, and around 2019 is when I started getting into like late 90s, early 2000s underground rap, like Jedi Mind Tricks, Cage, Ill Bill, Necro, Moral Technique, etc. And just like the stuff I was already being surrounded by that I learned in 2016, 2017, that was fire enough, but goddamn, this is like a level up, man. The Von by Design and Only Built for Cuban Links are my two favorite hip hop albums of all time. Right there. And sometimes they can change order. Sometimes I'll think Cuban's my favorite. Sometimes I'll think Design's my favorite. Now we're going to skip a couple years, like around like 2019, 2020, because I didn't really discover that much more music around that time. Fucking pandemic days. But I was more focused on making my own music around that area. So let's get to 2021 and up to present day. This is where I really started. The business picks up again. From 2021 to 2023, the year this video is being made, I started getting into like new age artists within the Juggalo scene. And I know a lot of people are gonna be fucking groaning and like rolling their eyes because this is a 50-year hip hop video. I'm talking about that shit, but fuck you. They mean just as much to me as like Wu, Mob, and fucking NWA. So I've been following a group signed to Twiz's label, Magic Ninja Entertainment, called All Zulu. Been following them since 2019, but 2021 is when I started getting exposed to a lot of other stuff, like super famous Funtime guys. They got signed to Zool's label, Long Live Evil. I fucking love him so fucking much. Also got familiar with SON, who was like affiliated with Zool. He got signed to LLE this year. And this year I've been tapping into Chapter 17 with Darby, Trill, and Hex. Salute to Mike again for talking about them like endlessly. I'm not really a big fan of Ouija Mac besides the Three-Headed Monster record and his features he does for like Hex and Darby. But since last year, I've also been doing like my West Coast Down South homework. Like I've always known the surface level shit like Dre and Stoop, fucking NWA, Eazy-E, fucking all that shit. You know, just like the fucking like the service level shit, the shit that everybody knows about. But this year and last year, I've been started getting into like the more like shit like DJ Quick, Saving Sounds, one of my favorite albums of all time now. Feature Knockout and Dre Step 2, like Real Brothers is a really dope album. MCA and Compton's Most Wanted. We come strap music, Drive By. I've always known the service level shit, like I said, but now I'm actually getting off my ass and doing homework. I've also been fucking with like more Dirty South shit this year, especially like 3 6 Mafia. I can't believe I didn't get into them earlier. Like Mystic Styles, I love that album. Mystic Styles, I love that album like a mother loves her child. And also I like The End, Chapter 2, World Domination, Cheddar Club Thugs, The Underground, Volume 1, and all those old school like early 90s tapes. It's all amazing material too. Yeah, man, it's been a long journey as a hip hop head and as an artist developing. I've learned a lot, and I still got a lot more to learn. I know people might want to fucking shithouse me in the comments saying I'm a poser and I don't know absolutely everything. But if you're about to do that, hit backspace and shut the fuck up because this is something I always tell myself, and I think you fucking people need to hear this too. Always remain a student. I'm a student of this culture, and I always will be. I will never pretend to act like I know more than other people or I'm better than people because I'm an actual artist. No, fuck that. That's like big headed shit that I don't get with. I'd rather not know something than pretend that I do because it makes no sense to me. You're always gonna be learning about new stuff. So that's my story on becoming a hip hop head, becoming a hip hop artist. I didn't talk about much of me as myself as an artist, but I don't want to make it about me. It's about hip hop as a culture itself. So I'm gonna wrap it up with one more part, and it's gonna be what hip hop means to me personally. To me, hip hop means freedom of expression and creativity in the rawest form. It's no holds barred. Anything goes. I think hip hop to me, you could say any fucking thing, regardless of who gets offended, because that's how it's always been. Far as how I see it, it's about how you can be clever with words, with wordplay, rhyme schemes, and punchlines. It's all a fucking art form. Like and getting personal about your own life through music, venting your frustrations in ways that are only acceptable in music. You can even get more straightforward and more blatant with it in hip hop specifically. I mean, I can keep going. To me, hip hop represents unfiltered verbal freedom. It's the most explicit form of the first fucking amendment. Like motherfuckers, like we're getting taken to court for their fucking rap lyrics, and you can't do that shit now. That's how fucking serious the shit was when, like, fucking rap was a threat to the fucking people. And this is shit that I've researched and learned about myself. So that's from a lyrical perspective. So what about production? Because I'm a producer too. To me, hip hop production is musical freedom in the same way. You don't have to be necessarily skilled at a certain instrument, but that does put you ahead of a lot of other producers. Sampling as well as an art form to me. Taking records that I've like forgotten about, bringing them back to life, and just making your own interpretation of the song with like chopping up a sample, pitching it down or up, or just backmasking it with something I love doing. It's all fucking art form. Like putting your drums over it, adding a bunch of other sounds to it, and just taking an old song and becoming something completely new. It's fucking amazing. I love making beats. Been doing it since 2015. Started out as a producer before a rapper. And I've made about like 230 joints in my fucking career so far. I just love sampling and making beats. Some of my fucking personal like hip hop producer heroes to me, I'll name some of them off right now. RZA is my favorite producer of all time. DJ Premier, he's my second favorite. What other ones? Havoc with Mobb Deep. I just love how dark his shit is. DJ Muggs, his shit is just super fucking dirty. And that's like my big four. I got like a bunch of instrumental producers that like no one really knows about that I also look up to. Shout out to Blended Beats. Shout out to salutes out to 3 Point. Love them. Major influences, just as much as the other four that everyone does know. Let me go here. Where are some of my fucking some of my MCs I look up to? Hold on, I'm trying to find the fucking. I'm on my notes app. I'm trying to fucking find the thing. Give me a second here. I think I got it located. But yeah, Muggs, RZA, Havoc. Who the fuck else would I say? Primo, Blunted, 3 Point. Those are my 6 like most influential producers. God damn it! Where the fuck is this piece of shit? Let me find it somewhere. Sorry about the wait. God fucking damn it! Where are you? It's somewhere. It's somewhere, people. Hold on a second. Anyways, I can't fucking find it right now. Anyways, sorry for the awkward silence. But this has been my 50 years of hip hop celebration video. Thank y'all for watching. Just make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I might be taking a little bit of a break from YouTube because right now I'm more focused on my actual music. Working on a new record right now. I want to get that out to y'all before the year ends. But I will be here on and off making new videos so y'all don't starve. But salute to 50 years of hip hop. Salute to DJ Kool Herc, the creator of all of this that I love. Without hip hop, I would not even be alive. That's not exaggeration at all. And a lot of people would say the same thing. So, thank you for watching. And I'll see y'all when the next video comes out. Later.